You're not still using these or something similar for your scale model windows, are you? But if you are, get ready to be happy because we got a new way to do it. It's called Canopy glue, everybody. And if you've previously used Canopy glue before for your windows, stick around, don't go anywhere, because we got a new way to use it that makes it super simple, super fast, and it looks super good. Stick around, we're going to show you how we do it right now. Alright, so welcome to the overhead view. Right now what we're going to do is AJ's going to zoom in for us and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Alright, first and foremost, what I want to do is be able to make a comparison for you, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut out this window filament here for these windows. And then I'm going to use the Canopy glue on these and these, and I'll talk to you more about that later. I might do a similar thing on the top and bottom here as well. Because we've got some different sizes and we would have some different comparisons. I'm also going to do one of these frames with the window filament as well. So I'm going to have some window filament here and here, or here and here, excuse me, here and here, and in one of these so we can do a comparison at the end, alright? And then what I'll do, I'm going to put those on, cut those, put them on, and it's messy, and that's probably one of the points that we're making with all this. And then we're going to go ahead and do these smaller. We've got some, these are in-scale windows, but there's really small in-scale windows, so this will serve us for Z-scale. These will serve us for more in and HO. These are HO scale windows here as well. These are large in-scale windows that'll get us a test on bigger windows because the Canopy glue is recommended in some situations and not others. For example, it can be really messy with the smaller scales, hard to cut, hard to place, hard to keep out of the other wall connections and things like that. And then on the bigger scales, when you've got these glued to the back of the wall, well, if you're doing an interior, it just looks awful. So there needs to be an alternative, and we got one right now, and we're going to show you how we do it. So we're going to probably put you in a little bit of a time lapse initially while we go ahead and get these window filaments on the back of here, here, and here. And then once they're dry, we'll probably slow you back down, come back in and show you how we apply the Canopy glue, because we're going to apply it different for different types of applications, different sizes, and different wall units. See, what happens is a lot of times people most of the time, my understanding is, people who use Canopy glue do it after the models are assembled and the model walls are standing straight up and they're having to fight with gravity. Well, what happens when you use this parchment paper, you can let gravity be to your advantage. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and probably put you in a quick time lapse. We're going to use Canopy glue on these as well because it does dry clear, so when we do use the window filament, we do use Canopy glue as well. But we're not going to show you much about this part because this is the part we're showing you you don't want to use anymore. Alright, so welcome back. We got the window filament glued in the pieces that we're going to do for our side-by-side comparison, and we'll show you that right now. We've got window filament here and here. We've got window filament here and here on this row. And then we've also got window filament in this window frame. Okay? And so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to come in. I sanded the backs of all these real good because them laying flat is very important. And so everything's had the backs of them sanded real good because we're using gravity to our advantage here, and the fact that the Canopy glue won't stick to the parchment paper but will stick to the plastic, and the fact that it dries clear. We're using all that to our advantage right here. We're going to transition you back over and show you the downward picture, and we're going to go ahead and apply the Canopy glue on the different window panels and frames right now. Alright, here we are, everybody, and AJ's going to zoom us right back in on this. Alright, AJ, thank you for the zoom. And so what we're going to do is we've got, you know, these little ones. We're considering these Z scale, which they are in scale. They're just very small in scale stuff. Then we've got our other in scale stuff, in scale size stuff. We've got other in-scale stuff. We've got a really large in-scale window, and then we've got some HO scale window frames as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, on these that have the smaller holes, we're going to use a very light film of this Canopy glue on it. It's going to dry glue, and it's going to drop into the holes slowly. We just don't want to have a lot. We don't want it caked up on the outside. We definitely want to give the appearance that the window is on the interior and not the exterior. Be doing the same on these as well. And on these, we'll try to drop them in the holes to the best when they actually have the opening. We'll try to go ahead and get them down in the opening. The glue will kind of spread and hit the plastic parts. It'll dry clear, stick to the plastic and not the parchment. We'll do the same here. Now these are pretty much a good size for the Canopy glue still. These are getting a little bit bigger, and we'll show you that. A little bit bigger and not quite so good for them, and we'll show you that. And this is probably going to be too big of a window for the Canopy glue, and these are going to be borderline as well. So we're just going to show you this application is definitely good for the smaller scales, and in some applications it's bigger for the bigger scales, especially if you're going to be trying to do an interior. And so all we're going to do is we just have Canopy glue and we have toothpicks. The toothpicks help to spread and to ensure that we don't have any air bubbles in there, because we don't want air bubbles. So we're going to just put a drop down, 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 and a drop down. We'll grab the one that we got a little bit too much of and see if we can't pick some up and spread it. What we're going to do You want to make sure we don't have any bubbles and that we have spread it throughout and it's touching all the sides. As long as you have a layer that is touching all the sides, it won't release and it won't give you a poor look. You do want to make sure that you're moving it as little as possible as well, but you can't really tape them down because tape won't stick to the parchment paper. Now these can move a little better as they haven't gone all the way to the bottom down there, but when they go all the way down and touch the parchment, you got to be much more careful at keeping it in place, and I'll show you more about that in a sec too. Okay. Alright. Now, this one we could try a couple different ways. Because these are flat on this side, and there's nothing extruding where the bars come in, I'm going to flip these face down. Because as long as they stay still and are face down, we shouldn't have Canopy glue that gets out and spreads. That's what I'm hoping at least. So we're going to do this one because there's no extrusions. See, these extrude out, and so you can't lay them flat. These you can lay flat face down and do it from the back side. And I feel like we're going to get a really nice look on this one. I don't know about better, but we'll see. So I'm going to have to use a little more here because this one's going to need to be a little thicker. I assume that we will have some Canopy glue that drops down. If it doesn't, that's fine, but if it does, that's actually fine too. We just to make sure we have enough to cover everywhere. Alright. Try to get that air bubble out of there and try not to move this thing much. Gotta get the air bubbles out. Alright. We're gonna put a little more in this one because it looks a little thin, and then we'll go ahead and as long as the glue isn't coming out of the bottom there and squishing out and extruding, it's gonna look good. Alright, now these extrude here, so I'm going to have to go from the top down on this one. These will be the exact same way. This one could possibly be laid face down. I haven't decided on it yet. Good. Okay, boo. Alright, welcome back. We're trying an alternative to Filament for your scale model windows using Canopy glue. And what we got is 3 scales over here and about 8 different size windows that we tried. And we kind of got varying results and we're ready to show them to you. AJ, let's do a transition and zoom in. Thank you very much. We're going to start our Alright, so here's the results we found. Alright, you got varying sizes here, alright? You've got a Z-scale warehouse here, you've got an N-scale police station here, you've got an N-scale Italian restaurant here, and you've got HO scale windows and a window frame here, alright? And so we tried all of these. Now, I'm going to kind of try to give you some good close-ups from this camera here. And so, these have been weathered a little, otherwise I would ask you to, let's see if we can, so here's what we'll do, we'll go here. And those look pretty good. These do look good. A little smaller with a very small mesh, pretty good. That's what I'm going to call that. Varying results here. These larger windows like this look great. Alright, that's not so much. This is pretty good, pretty good. These look great here. Alright, and more of these look great. Alright, so a regular size N-scale window really looks nice in there. And then a little small of a mesh for it, but it still works. Now, this looks really, really good. Some small mesh here. The Canopy glue kind of sunk down into it really nice, as well as that's a great size for this Canopy glue right here as well, everybody. So those look really good, but let's do some comparisons side by side, all right? And so we kind of got some varying results as well. See, this model right here, this wall right here, it has Canopy glue up here, filament here, and Canopy glue here. Now, I like the Canopy glue on this size here. The filament looks good on both, all right? I like the Canopy glue look here. This larger window here, no, it is too big. It's getting a little bit of wavy in it because we don't have any other supports. So I'm going to call this size definitely too big. Let's go to another one. All right, again, filament, Canopy glue, Canopy glue. I'm going to call the Canopy glue better down here, or as good at least. Better or as good depending upon opinion. But you get up in this size window, this one's maybe pushing the size right here a little bit too big possibly. All right, because we're getting a little bit of wave in it. Doesn't have enough supports in there to hold it. So I'm going to call the filament better on this size. So we're looking at about a 1/2 inch that it looks really good in. Okay. Here's your HO scale window frame with filament. HO scale window frame with Canopy glue. Gonna call this a little too big for the Canopy glue maybe, so you HO scale folks, the filament might be better for y'all in most cases, with the exception of this. Now, This window, HO scale, has a window frame in it, right? Now, this one looks great because you got those supports in there. You're looking at about 1/4 of an inch max and a little less in the width or length or height, excuse me. And so I'm going to call this looking better than any of the other HO scale ones, as long as you've got some supports in there. So again, we're looking at about 1/2 inch. Now these are Z scale warehouse windows with Canopy glue. They look absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. No way Filament looks better than this in the Z scale. Very, very nice look here, as well as here. So I'm not sure that this is the best comparison. Probably here to here is your best comparison, side by side, even though it's not great. Borderline too big here, but I don't think so. I'm going to use Canopy glue on this size, not on this size, probably not on this size either, because I think this one looks better here. I don't know if you agree or not. Alright, and that's how we use Canopy glue as an alternative to window filament. And as I said, we got varying results, everybody. Z scale, I definitely say Canopy glue. N scale, most of the time I would say Canopy glue. HO scale, most of the time I'm going to say window filament. We want to thank you very much for watching today. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon and share this with your other modeling friends. We got a lot of cool videos down below. We hope you'll stick around and check out some more of them. Thank you very much.